Hello, how are you? This is Ahmed Ragab from the Academic Professional Training, and today we are going to talk about Unit 1 and Unit 2 in Book 3. Now we've actually talked about different stuff. We've talked about lots of things in the past. We've talked about starting from level 1 with Mr. Anil, level with me, and with Mr. Awam, Mr. Ibrahim, and all of us. Now we've actually managed to discuss lots of topics. Now, let's start talking about your life. Now, let's start first talking about your life. Now, first, if we're talking about you, now, how is it going? That's the start with the typical question, how is it going? So this typical question, we've agreed that how's it going means very nice. How's it going means like, what's up? What's new? Now, how to introduce yourself? That's a good question, and that's an important question. We need to know how to answer this question. Now, introducing yourself is important in English because this is the first thing you do with anyone you meet for the first time. So, for example, I've met like Muhammad, okay? So, hello Muhammad, how are you? He'll say, I'm fine, thank you. How about you? So, I will say, I'm great, thank you very much. Then, Muhammad, can you talk about yourself or introduce yourself to me? You see? So, this is the thing. So, like, if I just know his name, I need to know the rest of his information. So, I need him to introduce himself. So, how to introduce yourself? Now, that part of the topic is important for today's topic. Why? Because today's topic is about something important in our life. Education. Now, if we're talking about education in our life, now, what is education? So, let's write the word here. So, what's education? Okay, education is the way you actually study things. Education is the way you get new stuff in a school or in a college or whatever. So, that pretty much is education. Okay? So, how to introduce yourself? So, let's learn this first, then we talk about the process of the education itself. Now, so how to introduce yourself? How to introduce yourself? Now, introducing yourself has lots of factors, lots of vocabulary. Okay? First, of course, when you try to introduce yourself to someone you don't know, you start with, very nice, with your name. The first thing you start with is your name. Why? That's your identity. That's the beginning. That's the first thing actually you need to tell other people about. So you start talking about your name. Now about how to introduce ourselves in English. Now let's watch this video about introduction in English. Then we come back to discuss this video, discuss what we've heard. This video for 2 minutes, short video about introducing yourself. Okay? Let's watch.
This is the view.
Teaching you English through 2-minute lessons.
In this extra learning lesson, we will learn in detail about the words and phrases you use when you introduce yourself.
Introducing yourself to someone does not mean that you are just telling your name. The introduction can include other details such as where you are from, where you work, the job you have, your hobbies, and much more.
Yes, that's right. How you introduce yourself depends on the situation that you're in and how much information is expected of you.
Introducing yourself to someone you've just met. When you are introducing yourself to someone you've just met, you can say hi, hello, hey. Hello is more of a formal way. These are universal phrases and you can use them with anyone. Be it a senior, a friend, a relative, or someone younger. These phrases are suitable for both formal and informal situations.
Saying hello or hi isn't enough. In order to introduce yourself, you have to tell the person your name. You can start with something simple like, "Hi, my name is Marley," or "Hello, I'm Marley." In formal situations, you may want to give both your first and last name. When you're talking with friends, you can use a colloquial expression like, "They call me Marley."
After greeting people and telling them your name, you can also tell them how old you are or what you do for a living. If you are an engineer, you can say, "I'm 26 years old and I'm an engineer." By telling them what you do, the person can know you better.
Yes, right. You can also tell someone where you live or where you're from. To tell someone your origin, you could say, "I'm from Michigan," or "I have come from Michigan." You can also tell the person where you live right now, like, "I live in Chicago." In telling someone where you live or where you've been, this can be a great conversation starter as they may have something to relate to you.
You can also ask people their name or tell them some more about yourself, like what your hobbies are, what you like to do in your free time, where you hang out, and so on. It's all part of getting to know you better.
To ask someone's name, you could say, "My name is John, what's yours?" If you want to tell them about your hobbies, you could say, "I like to play chess," or "I really enjoy running. I run every day."
I hope this extra learning lesson was helpful, and now you are better at introducing yourself to people. Don't forget to watch the original lesson by clicking on the link given in the description. See you soon!
Welcome back. So we've been talking always about like introducing yourself and other things. So are some ways of introducing yourself in a healthy way. Now, introducing yourself is relying on who are you. So the other person is asking who are you so he can get to know you. So that's the first thing. So try to make sure that you introduce yourself in a clear way, in a good way. Okay? Now let's start our things with the school thing. Now, first, let's talk about types of like schools or types of education. Now, what are the types of education? Now, we are like somehow we are taking courses nowadays, for example. So that's like private education. Let's say, for example, we started education since we were 5, 6, 4, something like that. We actually were learning some other things. We were learning some other things before that, before like we go to school and other things. Now, look, so let's talk about the categories of each and every one in a specific way. Now, let's go for the first one. The first one is the preschool. What is the preschool? Preschool is kindergarten. Okay, what's the kindergarten? Now, for example, like, okay, it's not KG. It's smaller than this. We teach them basics, okay? Now, let's watch a video about preschoolers' growth and development to understand who are the preschoolers, okay?
The preschooler age is Erickson's stage of initiative versus guilt. Because they have motor skills, language, and fantasy.
Okay, as we saw now, we understand what we're talking about. We're talking about schools and we're talking about preschoolers. Now, preschoolers are these like young children, like they're younger than the school age, and we try to teach them basics of everything. So the first stage is preschooler, okay? Preschooler for kids, as you see in the picture here, okay? So as you see here in the picture, so these are preschoolers before the age of the school. Now to go to the second thing. Second thing is the kindergarten. Kindergarten. So the kindergarten people are somehow, you can say, now they have started like somehow before school. Now preschoolers are before like they learn the basics, they learn basic names for things, but without tests, without anything. When we talk about the kindergarten are like, I prepare them for entering the school. Like this is like somehow the level where I prepare them to the school part. Okay? Now, so we're hearing the prayer, so we'll take a break, then we continue starting from the kindergarten. Okay? Be right back. Okay, welcome back. Okay, so welcome back from the prayer. Let's continue the topic we're talking about. Now, we were talking about education. Education, as we said, is an important factor of each society, of every society. So here, if we're trying to talk about education, we need to talk about some of the, like, let's categorize the education and talk about the categories and everything, like, starting from the first stage of education until the last stage. Now, if we go to talk about the first stage. Now, in the first stage here, okay, first stage we said it's the preschooler. They're before, yes, the level of the school. Very nice. Now, the second stage is the kindergarten. Very nice. The kindergarten are like that. Yes, we prepare them for, very nice, for the school. Okay. Now, after this, what do we have? Primary or elementary. Primary or elementary stage, okay. So these are like the first 6 years or 5 years. Depends on the country. So in these years, we give them the basics. We actually try to apply these basics on things. We give them more subjects, and we teach them how to depend on themselves and how to solve questions and start learning something. Now, if we're talking about different education systems around the world, we have lots of different systems. Now, we're having today a video about the best education systems around the world. Also, we have an education about the worst and problems of education. We have lots of things to reduce today. So, we're going to talk about primary and elementary stage. In this stage, we need to focus that in this stage, we teach them like the principles, the basics of things. Now, in the previous stage, which is like the kindergarten, actually we teach them, qualify them to be ready to start learning something and start studying something. Okay, education is about subjects, and we try to teach you about those subjects. Now, we have to actually make you love education so like you can learn. Now, how many of us actually didn't like his school and didn't like learning the school and didn't learn anything? So the key of learning anything here is by loving that thing. So primary, I try to teach them like the love of the school, the love for education, and how to educate yourself well. Okay? Let's go next. Middle school or junior high? Junior high or middle school, then we're talking about what? We're talking about prep school. We're talking about preparatory school. What's the preparatory? Preparatory coming from preparation. So what am I doing? Now, in primary and elementary, we're trying to prepare you for the life. We're trying to prepare you for some subjects and some other things. Now, in the middle school or junior high school, so that's we prepare you for the upcoming stage. The upcoming stage, which is high school, this is one of the most important, actually, stages. Why? Now, let's pay attention to this. High school is the approach of going to college. And when you go to college, that means you're starting your own life, you're starting to choose your own dream and your own job and everything. So we're talking about this, so going to high school is very important. So to prepare you for going to high school, we have the preparatory or the junior high school or middle school. All of these are names for the preparatory or the stage before high school. Now, if you're talking about the stage is like you're not an adult and you're not a kid anymore. You're in between. You're trying to learn new skills. You're trying to learn new subjects to prepare yourself for the upcoming things. Very nice. Let's go next. Secondary or senior high school. Now, secondary or senior high school, that's a different stage of your life. Why? We said that the secondary and the senior high school is the beginning of what? Very nice. Of the approach of going to college. College is totally different than anything before that. Now, if we're trying to think about college, college is how like you start your own way. College is about like I start my own life. I start to choose my own career, and actually after choosing this career, I actually try to find a job after that and everything. And we will actually introduce like how to find a job, and we introduce like interview skills, lots of things. We are going to introduce them in the future. Okay? So that's senior high school. So in this stage, you are semi-adult. So you're not that a complete adult, but you're trying to learn best to prepare yourself for going to college. Let's go next. College. College is somehow the stage of like the most enjoyable stage of all. Of course, it depends on your college, though, but we have to pay attention that when you study in college, you start a new life. You start to have your own things. You start to have your own methods in life. You start to have lots of things, okay? You start to learn by not studying things, learn by researching, learn by looking up things yourself, learn by like understanding things, by going through references, by doing lots of research for the professor. Professors in college prepare you to actually be a well-educated person in the future. Now, if we're talking about different countries, like, let's say, for example, USA. USA is one of the top countries in the world. So it's one of the top countries in the world. We have to pay attention to something important. Most of the people in USA are high school educators. Most of them don't complete until the college because somehow learning anything here in there is expensive. So if we're talking about how expensive is that, it's very expensive more than can you imagine. Because when you go to college in there, you learn something. You learn something new. You try to learn new skills. You try to learn lots of things, lots of new stuff. So that's the phase of college. Now, I finished college. This is where I stop learning. This is when I start not to learn again and I start working. No, of course. Academic learning is not like ending by college. Academic learning, okay. So we're talking about academic learning starts by college. Now college is the first stage of academic learning. The previous stages were preparing you actually. Each stage were preparing you to the upcoming stage. College is preparing you to life. Very nice. So I'm preparing you to life, not just the stage. It's that stage. You know the stage itself, which is life, that's important. Let's go next. University. University is another name for college. University is bigger though, meaning university is the big general thing and it has colleges inside. Colleges and faculty. Very nice. Now, let's go for certificate. What means certificate? Now after finishing college, you take a certificate. What's that certificate? That certificate says that you have finished college with a specific degree or something like that. So why is that important? Okay, certificate is like somehow the proof that you finished college. So I have to take care of this. Now, certificate is not just for college. Certificate can be for high school, it can be for senior high school, it can be for courses, it can be for anything. So it's a matter of proof. I'm proving that I finished college. I'm proving that I finished that thing, that course, that whatever. So all of this, I'm trying to prove that I've finished it. So that's why I have a certificate. That's why I have a certificate. That's the important part. Okay? So next. Graduate. Now, graduate is coming from the word graduation. Very nice. What is graduation? Now, to try to explain this word, let's write another word, which is promote. Promote. What is promote? Promote, that means I promote you to the next level. I promote you to the next stage. What's that? Like, for example, when you graduate from high school, you go to college. When you graduate from college, you take a certificate and you work. Very nice. You see? So graduation is anything related to studying. When you finish a course, that means you graduated from the course. When you actually try to teach something, that means you've graduated. Okay? That's why you work as a teacher. So all of this here is not like about graduation itself. It's about, are you graduating with a good degree or not? That's the idea, and that's the question you should ask yourself. Now, I have to study hard to get the degree I want. And that's important, my friend. Let's go for college. Now, let's talk about this. So you have the bachelor degree. What is the bachelor degree? Bachelor degree is a certificate you take after finishing college. Example. Okay, for example, it's like this. Let's imagine this. I've finished college, okay, Faculty of Commerce. So Faculty of Commerce, I've finished Faculty of Commerce. So I take a bachelor degree. Bachelor of Art degree, BA. What's art? Faculty of Commerce. Commerce is one of the art. They consider it like this. So BA, bachelor degree. Also Faculty of Arts itself. Okay? So anything related to art is BA, Bachelor of Art. Now how about the scientific places, the scientific colleges? So they have a Bachelor of Science degree, okay, B.S. Go next. Post-studies or academic studies. Post-studies or academic studies, that's after that. That's the introduction, okay, after finishing college, okay, what are the things, what are like your next plans? You have to have always a plan. Why should I? Because a man with a plan does not stop in front of problems. He tries to solve problems, and this is what I want, what you want for your life. Now you try to solve problems. Problems that you have at work, problems that you have at home, problems that you have in your social life. All of these things, okay, you have to solve them. So sorry, a small technical problem. Let's go back. So we're saying what before the cut? We're saying post-studies or academic studies. Academic studies or post-studies now. I've finished college. No, should I stop learning? No. Why not to try to learn more? Okay, how? Okay, let's give examples. PhD. PhD is one of the academic studies that you take after college. So you have to take a PhD. We will call you a doctor. And we have in a picture here Dr. Zwail, Dr. Ahmed Zwail. So the doctor here, okay, that's, okay, you achieve something and you have something called thesis. Thesis. Now, what we call it in Arabic, the message. It's not a message. It's not a letter. It's a thesis. So, the thesis, you try to prove something, try to discover something new. And it's important. Why? In the thesis, it talks about you. It talks about your achievements. It talks about what you have new to add. Okay? So, let's watch this video, then we come back.
Every country on earth at the moment is reforming public education. There are two reasons for it. The first of them is economic. People are trying to work out, how do we educate our children to take their place in the economies of the 21st century? How do we do that?